Tokyo. But are there any things that you all can take from tonight's game that you can use moving forward to build upon?
I think the biggest thing is just defense, and I think that just comes from just chemistry and understanding one another and knowing that that person's going to be there whatever the way the ball goes. So I think at the end of the day, the biggest takeaway that I found was just on the defensive end, and I think that just comes with, like you said, practice time. It comes with just chemistry, and the beauty of USAB is we have a small amount of time to really, really get to know each other. So we'll get there.
Danny?
Asia, Chelsea, Danes Thompson, a three-point conversion. With this game being in Las Vegas and you heard the ovation, was it when your name was called and the crowd was cheering your name, was it like, did it give you goosebumps? I know you play in this building on a nightly basis, but in this type of setting, did it give you goosebumps when the PA announcer calling your name and the crowd's going crazy for you?
It was a great vibe, like the energy behind it. We feel that every time at our home game. So it was a level up. First of all, I had goosebumps just stepping out there, in the world and saying that I'm Olympian. So compound that with being in our home arena, it felt good. It felt like we had support in Vegas behind us.
Next up, we've got Doug Feinberg, followed by Steve Drumright.
Hey, ladies. I haven't covered many games here lately, but it felt like today was a regular season game in a sense, the intensity on the court right from the start, as opposed to an all-star game. Is that the feel that you guys had, that this wasn't like, hey, take a free layup? It's like, all right, you got to play and earn every point you get, so to speak.
Yeah, I think you guys watch this. We're a competitive league, and yes, it's an all-star game. But at the same time, we're going to be competitive. We're going to compete because that's what people want to see us go after it. And I think at the end of the day, we gave the people what they wanted. Of course, we have things to work on our end, but I think it was a regular season game. It's legit. People see us on TV and try to make a joke out of it, but at the end of the day, it is real, and we're very, very competitive.
Steve?
For both of you guys, what were the 2 or 3 things defensively that you guys feel that you need to work on for the next game?
One for sure is our ball screen defense. Like all 5 of us, like the point of attack on ball, and then the weak side coming over and not being spread too thin. And then once we do get a stop, getting those rebounds and those 50-50 balls. They got some kick outs for threes. We're getting sucked in, and then, like I said, it's kicked out for threes and knocking those things down. So I think if we clean up our point of attack and our help side, we'll come over and trust each other. I think we'll be fine.
Next up is Cassie Soto, and then Cassandra Cosinell.
Hey, Asia, I know Chelsea just spoke on it, but I'd love to get your reaction as well on all the LV Aces jerseys that were here in the arena and just how thankful you are for that local support.
It's a lot of fun to play here in Vegas as a whole, but when you have an all-star game and people really come out and represent and show love and support to us as individuals, as being a part of the Aces, it's truly special. And I think all-stars should be here every single year. I think we do a great job of putting on a show at all costs. And at the end of the day, it's always good to look up and see people wearing those Chelsea Gray jerseys and those Asia Wilson jerseys, De'Erica Hamby, Liz, all of us. So it's great to have that support here.
Cassandra?
Hi, my question is it's the same question for both of you. What is the decompression process like now, going from this all-star game to getting ready for the Olympics, the mental decompression process?
I think we just try to get better. I think on some of these games that we're going to see against Nigeria and Australia, we're going to be learning on the fly. And also communicating with each other is going to be key. Like, which side of the floor do you like this on? Like, knowing each other's strong points. So when we get in those crunch times, like we already know, defensively and offensively. So we're going to be learning throughout practices, but during games as well.
And
No, I have nothing to
last question, we'll go to Gary Washburn, and then we've got Don Staley up.
Hi, ladies. It's a general Olympic question. Most of the elite athletes and the best teams are the women's teams coming from the Team USA. What does that say about the growth of women's sports? Or as some of your teammates have said, is it just that finally women's sports is getting more attention and it's been like this all along? What's your kind of thoughts on just being part of such an elite class of women athletes going to Tokyo?
Yeah, I think it's the second thing that you just said. It's just a matter of time. We're being seen more. Finally getting the recognition that's always been there. We've always been working hard. We've always been so true to this. So at the end of the day, I think it's finally being spotlighted and highlighted in a great light. And I mean, we're just doing what we love.
Yeah.